Oh, you know what? I messed up. Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh.
Powered by Ocho.
All right. Welcome back to Powered by 8 Racing YouTube channel, where you get all of your car knowledge that you shouldn't know. I'm not really teaching you anything that you should be doing, probably what you shouldn't be doing. Sorry about my voice, still recovering from a cold, but I said on the Woodward video that I would keep you informed on how I do the hub adapter. So anyways, still got my guys in G-Speed, and I've also now been in talk with NRG about making one, but I don't want to wait. So I'm going to see if I can make one myself, and I'll still switch it out for one if we can get something worked out with them in the future. But what I'm going to do is, like I said before, this one is so that you can use the NRG quick release hub. I don't want to use theirs. I want to use the Crontech. So I need to make that work. So what I did was I got this MPI 3-bolt to 6-bolt adapter, and this hole here isn't big enough to allow the nut through, which really stinks because that would have been perfect, right? But what I'm going to do is, the socket for that is this 5/8 12 point, right? It obviously doesn't fit through that. Well, this is 7/8 22 millimeters. The plan is, I bought these hole cutters from our favorite store, Amazon. And there just happens to be this one in here that is 3/4 inch, 19 millimeters. This fits in here perfectly. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to be able to use this to find the center of this hole. Then once I find the center of that hole, by putting another piece here, drilling down in there, I will then be able to take this guy and drill out the 22 millimeters that I need to fit the socket through. Once the socket can go through, I'll be able to put this on the steering column. I'll be able to put this on. I will then be able to slip this through, and that will find center. Then this will be perfectly centered on this hub. From there, I can just weld this on, and everything should be centered. That's how I hope that it'll work. I don't know if it will or not, but that's the plan. So that's what I'm going to do. So first what we got to do is I need to just get a piece of stock that I can stick underneath this. I'll probably go ahead and just screw it to it so it's, flat and that we don't have to worry about it moving. I will then drill a hole. Actually, I'll probably drill a hole through the stock first and then stick it on here. That way we can get it lined up and centered, and then kind of bring it to it and then bolt it on. But we'll go through that. So let me get a piece of stock that we can put a hole through so we can get it bolted onto here, and I'll show you how I do that. All right, so I got a little piece of aluminum here. It's already got a hole drilled that'll fit this. So the plan now is take this, we'll fit it through this hole, and we will put it on here like that. Then we will bring this down. I have to take this spring off because it's not going to let that seat. So take this spring off. All right, so now we can find, well, all right, now we can find center. All right, so from here, we just bring it down like that, and now we know where center is on this piece of material. Now, if I were to take this out, we still have center, and when the next one goes in there, it should drill center. This isn't going to work. It's not big enough. I'm not going to be able to use it to get to 2 of the functioning holes. So it was just laying around. I grabbed it. It's not going to work. I'm going to grab another piece real quick, and we will go from there. All right. So now you see, oh, you know what? I messed up. Oh, oh, ah, oh. Okay. I got to take this back off. I really need to mark this hole first. And then really I need to bolt these on. So this is really actually going to mess me up a little bit. Let me see if I can just loosen these. I really messed this up. All right, so in order for this to work the way I want it to work, I need to make the middle hole first. Once I have the middle hole, then I need to put this in and use this as my spacer finder guy thing. So the previous holes really don't line up well for that. So I will make some new holes. I'll make them up here and down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm just going to go ahead and mark this like this. I'm going to get one made and then I will mark the rest. So I just have a cheap drill press. I don't have anything special, guys, so you could do this too. Now, I wish I had a better drill press, but one day. All right, so you'll see what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as my centering spot. So this will go in here, and that's going to keep this where I need it to be centered. Because remember, this hole is going to be our center guide for our next hole that's going to be bigger. All right, so this needs to go in here, and I need to bolt it on. So let's bolt this on. Like this. Once we know this is going to stay centered. All right, now we can mark our next hole. I'm going to mark one hole here. I'm going to go drill this out and I'll be right back. All right, got both the holes. Just lining it all back up again. All right, so that's our center bore. So the plan is that when we get to the drill press, we get the next bit in here, we're going to bring it down, center it up, and then as soon as we start cutting, we're cutting the middle. Well, that's the plan. Let's see what happens. All right, so again, this will come down and find our center for us. That's our center spot. So we get some lube. We will keep this nice and lubed. All right, here we go. That's through. Now comes the so you'll see there it is in all its glory. Let's get these off, let's clean it up, and let's pray. Let's pray this works. All right, got it all cleaned up. Let's take this off. Oh boy. Pretty excited for this one. This one is like my own brainchild. Like, this is like one of one. Nobody has this in the entire world. I'm a genius. Oh, it's all wet. I didn't clean underneath that. Almost a genius. Let me clean this. One sec. All right, so it's all cleaned up. This is the moment we've all been waiting for at least all of our lives, or how long this video has been up until this point. Does this fit? And how close does it fit? Oh man, that fits perfect. I mean, that's just a hair. I could space that probably. I mean, it's just so, it'll find center, but it won't be exactly center. So what I might do is find like some feeler gauges and jam it in there just to take up the slack all the way around. And I bet you that that feeler gauge will take up that slack enough to where it'll keep it perfectly centered. So let me take you to the car and show you what I mean. So the idea is, once this is on here, like that, this bolt has to obviously be able to get bolted on here. So that bolt will get bolted on there. But once this is welded on, we won't have the opportunity to do that. So that was what this hole was for. Now we can slide that on there, and now we've got center. Now all we have to do, put this where we want it, come to the back side of it, and weld it. And then once that's welded, we'll be able to take this on and off because we can put a socket in there. And this bolt, shoulders of this bolt also fit through this. Perfect. See? So it'll go straight on there, and we will have a quick release hub. Boom. All right. Well, I'm going to get this marked up. I got to get this sanded down, and I'm going to weld it. I can't do that tonight. I've got some things, so I will see you guys tomorrow. So picking up where we left off on the last video, all you've missed was me centering this up, which was kind of what I showed you. We stuck this on the steering column, bolted it on, and then I took my socket, put it to the middle, lined this up, and then I got these to stick together, brought them over here, and I'm within like 0.05 millimeters all the way around. So it's pretty center. I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and try to get some tacks on this and see if this is gonna work. So again, I'm not a welder, so here we go. All right, we'll let that cool down. That's really hot right now. I can see this is all turned bronze from heat, but you know, got to do what I got to do. Not much else I can do. We'll just let it cool down, and yeah, we'll go from there. Disconnect this from it. That thing is cooking. All right, I'll see you guys back when that is cooled. All right, luckily that's cooled off, or else I would have just burned myself. Anyways, I think it turned out pretty well. Cleaned it up some, and yeah, there we go. So got it welded on. The only thing I wish I would have done was, I wish I would have welded to this side. I would have been able to get welds out to here, but instead it stopped here. So, you know, I have only got it in these 3 spots. Well, I think it's strong enough still. I don't think that's going to come apart. We'll find out on the track, I guess, right? Well, anyways, let's get this back over to the car. We'll get the NRG plate bolted on here, and we'll just make sure everything's ready to go. And we will move on to other things. All right, so we're in the car again, and we clock this one so that we're right about here. Well, didn't exactly get it right where I wanted it. It needs to be over just a little bit. Well, we'll fix that in the alignment. This thing needs to get more double-sided tape because that keeps falling down. So we will stick this on here. We're gonna lock it down. All right. And we think that's where it needs to be. This will go on here. One of these did get ruined, so I'm gonna have to get another one of these little Allen screws from the fastener store, but that's fine. We'll just get this on here for now. Make sure everything's working well as it should be. Now I'm probably gonna have to push this down, loosen this up, and I can move this around where I want it. That's fine. That's easy to do. All right, let's see what happens. Yeah, so I want it down just a little bit. I think the position's good. I might just want to move it down. Maybe push it in just a little bit. So I'll loosen this up, then I can get that around where I want it. This is just because the steering rack is loose. I don't have it tight on the steering rack right now. So that's why I've got that little bit of play. That's not anything to do with this steering column. But yeah, there you go. This is the nice thing about the NRG hub. You know, one thing, you can get this pin. This is a pin version. But once this is off, to get it on, it's indexed. So you just have to put it on and it goes on. You're ready to go. And then to take it off, you can just pull this and pull that off. I got to clean this up. That's why it's a little bit sticky. But anyways, yeah, like I said, you can put it on like that and it's ready to go. So it's a really nice rack. Yeah, this is going to work out well. Once I get that tightened, we will be ready to go. All right, so that's pretty much all I have for this short little episode. I just wanted to show that hub getting put back together, and I think it's going to work out great. We got to take the steering rack out still. Got to get that fixed up, welded up, and all that jazz. But as far as the Woodward system goes, I think we're done. So thanks for watching. Again, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like. Be sure to comment. I never really stressed it enough, I guess, a year or two ago when I started this stinking channel. And I should have, because it really gets the videos seen by others. So if you like my content, let others see it. All you got to do is hit the thumbs up. All you got to do is hit the subscribe. Turn notifications off. I don't care. Just hit the subscribe. It really helps out. Anyways, we will see you guys back at the garage.
Powered by Ocho.